The reason why, Scaramouche received an Anemo vision, a fan-made story. Note, this isn't the actual storyline from the game, I just made this up for fun, after seeing Scara's drip marketing. This story, also isn't the most correct lore-wise, as I wasn't really focused on that aspect. And finally, I hid 3 stories in this video, will you be able to find them? Now, let's begin. One day in Tibet, the traveler gets a message from Nahida, requesting for him to go to the sanctuary, as her and the wanderer wants his help on something. Scara has been making good progress, and isn't as unstable emotionally, like he used to be. Recently though, he made a request that even had the god of wisdom stumped, and she was wondering if the traveler can help, as his experience knows no bounds. Traveler, seeing the letter, quickly leaves Sucrose's birthday party, and goes back to Sumeru, to see his favorite archon. Upon entering the sanctuary, he was kindly greeted by the Balladeer, Scaramouche, who had a soft smile on his face. Traveler is shocked, as this was the first time he had seen him be nice, let alone smile. Perhaps he was just dreaming. Paimon had to ruin it though, as she notes that his greeting is so similar to how A welcomes them whenever they visit, completely breaking Scara's facade. He loses it after hearing her comment, and almost hits Paimon with an attack, returning back to his usual smug personality. Nahida then arrives, and notes that the wanderer managed to be nice for 8.5 seconds, a new record, and gives him a star. While Paimon apologizes a million times to the wanderer, Nahida suggests they go out to discuss the problem they're facing. In the restaurant, Nahida recites the story of what happened. When the wanderer finally woke up, and I told him about the events that led him here, this is what he said to me. I know that I can't be a god, and I'm absolutely fine with that. But I still want to be recognized by them, that I'm someone special. So Nahida, I just have one request. Can you please help me receive a vision? She was caught off guard by his request, but Nahida still wanted to help. If only it wasn't so complex. It's a common misconception that archons give out visions, but that myth is false, or else she could have easily gave the wanderer a dendro one, Nahida mentions. Paimon remarks that the same thing was said by the Electro archon. Wait, no, she mentioned her again. This time, the wanderer didn't get angry, though he's still visibly annoyed. Now, Nahida's training sessions seems to be working, the traveler thought. Nahida questions him if he knows any way to easily receive a vision. Traveler suggests for Scara to have a strong ambition, as that seems to be the main reason on why gods give them out to mortals. The wanderer scoffs and tells him that he obviously knew that already, almost everyone does. Scara doesn't believe that just having a strong ambition is sufficient enough in the eyes of gods, and that there's absolutely more to it. Nahida is unsure if the wanderer's claim is true, though she does think that the rules are very inconsistent. This makes the traveler wonder, and he remembers all the times when he knows a person with a very strong ambition, but ended up not being blessed by a vision. After hours of discussing and arguing what visions really mean, and what they are supposed to represent, they reach a compromise. The wanderer will continue having a strong ambition, and in addition to that, they could do other techniques that will further improve his chances of being blessed by one. The traveler promises they'll help fulfill his wish, no matter what. They decide to rest for today, as it was turning night, but tomorrow, they got to work early in the morning. Traveler asks what element would Scara prefer for his vision, as their methods highly depend on this. Nahida quickly suggests an Electro vision, as he knew this is what Scara would want. The wanderer tries to refuse, but eventually goes along with it, as Nahida was right about him preferring to be Electro. Traveler and Paimon then try to remember all of the Electro vision holders they have met, and their main characteristics. They notice that the main theme with them was tall, strong, female, with, and. Never mind, they don't think Scara can replicate them. Though do not be alarmed, there are still some males in Electro, Traveler adds. Paimon then recalls Razor and Sino. Both are really fast, uses spirits of animals to aid them in combat, and most importantly, they have a special connection with canines. That must be it, Paimon thinks. They should just make Scara talk with dogs. then form a special bond with them. That surely must work. The Wanderer is confused, but they insist on the plan. Paimon brings out dog food, the traveler leaves out a bowl for him, and Nahida summons as many dogs as she can in the sanctuary. When they're done, they tell Scara to just talk to the dogs, and he'll surely get an Electro vision. They close the door, leaving him alone with the dogs, and tells him that they'll be waiting on the other side. Paimon, being proud of her plan, readies cat ears for him when Scara eventually comes out. Not even 10 seconds pass, and the Wanderer busts out of the door, screaming that this is the worst plan ever, and destroyed the cat ears. Traveler and Nahida laugh, and agrees the plan sucked, but it was worth a shot, and they wanted to see how it would turn out, so they went along with it. It went as well as they thought it would. Also, it's part of Scara's training. Paimon and Wanderer is absolutely fuming now, but Nahida announces that it's time to get serious, as the Wanderer's request is very important. Traveler agrees, and they actually get to work. Since they couldn't match his traits with the other Electro characters, they try to grant him a pyro vision instead, by trying to make him always be positive, be really passionate about his interests, and they attended a fireworks show. They even had did give them advice on how to be like her. It didn't work, and Scara did exactly the opposite of what he's supposed to do. After 5 minutes, Paimon suggested him getting into explosives, as it seems to be pretty common, but he ended up only enjoying the destruction it caused, not the explosives itself. After a while, it was clear that it wasn't working, and it might potentially turn dangerous, so they moved on to a different element. Let's try Geo. The traveler consulted Zhongli on what he thinks makes the Geovision holders unique compared to the other elements. The question is a very hard one for him, but he eventually answers. Unmoving determination that even the strongest weens can't crack. Next, the traveler compiles all the Geovision holders he knows, and their main traits. They are a very mixed bunch, but he makes do. Paimon even dyes Scara's hair white. It's worth a try, she says. Though the Wanderer managed to act like them, he wasn't being his true self, and was just playing a character. When they met up in the sanctuary, the Wanderer announces that he thinks Geo just isn't right for him, and that they should move on. Nahida removes the frown in their faces by saying not to worry, claiming that perhaps she had found the best element for Scara after researching for a while. She thinks that Hydro is the best element for him, without needing to change his entire personality. The Wanderer strongly refuses the idea, as he would rather be crushed by a meteor than have the same element as him. The Jiki comments, and the grins he'll have to face when Child realizes they have the same element will be absolute torture for him. Scara also associates Hydro with Child, which he associates with the Harbingers, all things he wants to forget and move on with. If not Hydro, then what about Anemo? When the traveler starts researching though, he noticed a very striking similarity with all of the teen Anemo boys he encountered. All of them losing a friend. Currently, the Wanderer's friends are only him, Nahida, and I guess her mother, and eliminating any of them wouldn't be desirable at all, so I guess move on from Anemo for now. At this point, it had been months when Scara first requested a vision, and he had lost all hope, as they had made no progress at all. He thinks that perhaps he's not worthy of one after all, and leaves the sanctuary to take a walk, leaving the traveler and Nahida alone. This is when the God of Wisdom whispered something into the traveler's ear for their ultimate plan to receive a vision. The next day, the Wanderer hears a strange noise coming out of the sanctuary, and quickly goes inside to investigate. What he finds while entering is quite possibly the most horrifying thing he has ever seen. The traveler makes a strong strike with his sword, while Nahida falls to the ground. He says that the Dendro Archon eliminated herself, so that he would finally receive a vision. The Wanderer calls both of them fools. Do they even know the implications of what they had just done? He starts getting extremely angry, and blames the traveler for being stupid, and not even thinking. Scara begins to attack him, with his power being fueled by his pure hatred and anger. The traveler fights back, and it proves to be extremely difficult. but he just keeps repeating in his head, "Not yet, not yet, hold on." Skara had enough of this, and prepares to summon a very powerful attack that will destroy the Traveler and the Sanctuary. Traveler stays still, and keeps repeating the same words, "Not yet," until a while later, he finally sees it, a glowing white light. Upon noticing it, he screams, "Nahida, now, stop him." The Archon awakens from her slumber, just in time to stop Skara from launching the attack. She mind-controlled his body, and makes the Wanderer calm down, making him fall to the ground. He knew, Nahida says to the Traveler. In his hand, was a glowing, anima vision. He had done it, he had been blessed by the gods. Their plan, was that Nahida would fake her elimination, and make Skara believe he had truly lost a very close friend. She had tricked the gods, and came out successful. When the Wanderer awakens from his short sleep, he just smiles at the two of them, and called them idiots. The end. Also, he should start preparing for his band debut. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribe, and like, if you ended up enjoying this video, as I put a lot of effort into it. Bye.